Space. The final frontier. The big kahuna. Also a movie, but that's not the point. The universe is big. Like, really big. Like, bigger than a sale at Walmart on a Black Friday big. And with its infinite abyss of beauty and intriguement comes its scary, somewhat disturbing, and very frightening attributes as well. That's why in today's video, I wanted to take a look at some of the creepiest things that are in the universe and discuss them with you, as there are a lot of things we still don't know about the universe, but still, from the small amount of information, is enough to make you think differently about our universe around us. So, without any further hesitation, let's just get right into the video. So this is more of a theory than it is a fact. I hope anyways. But it still is a very creepy one, and somewhat possible nonetheless. We often ask ourselves why we haven't seen legitimate proof of aliens yet. Yet we are constantly surrounded by media, conspiracies, and even personal stories of abductions of beings beyond the stars. With many theories out there as to why we haven't met aliens yet, as far as we know, one of the theories known as the zoo hypothesis leaves a very eerie thought to the imagination. As stated on the wiki, the zoo hypothesis speculates as to the assumed behavior and existence of technical advanced extraterrestrial life and the reasons they refrain from contacting Earth, and is one of the many theoretical explanations for the Fermi paradox. The hypothesis is that alien life intentionally avoids communication with Earth, and one of its main interpretations is that it does so to allow for natural evolution and social-cultural development, avoiding interplanetary contamination. The hypothesis seeks to explain the apparent absence of extraterrestrial life despite its general accepted plausibility and hence the reasonable expectations of its existence. Okay, if any of that was a little too much to take in, then allow me to simplify for you. The zoo hypothesis essentially is the theory that aliens are watching over us on this planet, monitoring us and watching us evolve by cutting complete connections off to us to ensure their own meanings behind it are satisfied, whether it be to study us or to just watch us through pure entertainment from how people behave on this planet. So yeah, quite a creepy thought to think about, and the thing about it all is that it can't be proven right or wrong. So it truly is just a creepy thought for now. But if this is still all complicated for you, imagine if all of Earth was a part of a show similar to Big Brother. And Big Brother was the show these aliens watched. Now, you truly see how creepy this is. But I digress. Let's move on to the next thing. Space is a giant vacuum, and contrary to popular belief in a lot of space films, you actually would never hear any sound in space. Even if an explosion went out right next to you in space, it would be silent because sound travels through the vibrations of atoms and molecules in the medium, such as air and water. And in space, there is no air or water and has no way to travel. However, that doesn't mean sound doesn't exist in space. Electromagnetic vibrations pulsate in the vacuum of space and give off similar wavelengths as sound, allowing us to still measure and capture sound just through a different means. With the help of special instruments that can record electromagnetic vibrations, we can use these instruments to hear the eerie sounds that come from our neighboring planets, to the sounds from deep space. So take a listen to some of these eerie sounds that we have already captured from space. If you thought that was creepy, back in 1977 by Ohio State University's Big Ear Radio Telescope in the United States had picked up for the first time ever an incredible frequency from deep space, which was so incredible it was deemed the wow signal, as it became the most iconic sound we've ever picked up from deep space while searching for extraterrestrial life. With all that being said, however, probably the creepiest thing about sound in space comes from the lowest note that exists in our universe. And that low note comes from a black hole. Out of all the frequencies that exist in the universe, the lowest of them all come from the depths of a black hole. And if you think that's creepy, take a listen to how it sounds. Well, I think I'm not gonna get sleep tonight. It's one thing that these black voids of death suck in everything in the universe, including light, by the way, but that it makes this terrifying sound. Let's play it again real quick. I have a theory that black holes actually take all the energy from everything it sucks in and compresses it as close as it can, since you know, black holes seemingly have endless force of gravity. But hey, I'm no Bill Nye. I don't know. But regardless, let's keep this going. Now, out of the many things that get my conspiracy vibes going, this one certainly takes the cake. The Black Knight, if you didn't know, is the name of some oddly shaped space debris that appears to be orbiting the Earth's atmosphere. However, many people believe that it is much more than space debris, but an alien satellite. Want to know what makes this even more suspicious? NASA themselves continuously cover up and deny its existence, but it's up there, floating, plotting, possibly stealing some Wi-Fi connection from the Earth as well, but hey, I don't know. In 1954, UFO researcher Donald Cahoe told newspapers that the US Air Force had reported that 2 satellites orbiting Earth had been detected. At that time, no country had the technology to launch a satellite. According to some UFO conspiracies, the Black Knight is an artificial satellite of extraterrestrial origin, which has orbited Earth for approximately 13,000 years. The satellite story is most likely conflated of several disconnected stories about various objects and their interpretations, all of them documented independently, and none using the term Black Knight upon their publication. Man, I don't know about you, but this conspiracy theory is freaking me out a little bit. But let's keep going. In 1901, Tesla published an article in Collier's Weekly detailing his experiments with electronic currents. He claims he experienced unexplained disturbances in electronic signals and concluded that the source may have been extraterrestrials trying to communicate. Oh Nelly, let's keep reading. He wrote, "It was some time afterward when the thought flashed upon my mind that the disturbances I had observed might be due to intelligent control. Although I could not decipher their meanings, it was impossible for me to think of them as having been entirely accidental. The feeling is constantly growing on me that I had been the first to hear the greetings of one planet to another." So, let's recap here. We got this crazy looking unexplained object floating in the sky above us, constantly covered up and denied by NASA, yet proof of it is there. It gives off strange electro signals and was up there before humans could even put anything in space, yet is constantly denied. Yeah, that's some creepy stuff. But what is your take on this, though? Let me know in the comments below. I expect an appropriate class discussion, so no fighting. Respect is what is required when you are on this channel, so do not forget, respect each other. Alright, this one's gonna freak you out, but not for the reason you think. So if you don't know what a rogue planet is, it is essentially a planet that isn't in a solar system anymore. That's right, it's just a big old planet just flying through space with no care in the universe. These planets can literally be as big as Jupiter or bigger as well, so let's just use this banana for scale here. As you can see, it's very big and pretty much invisible, because no light is reflected onto them since they are in absolute darkness, not being in a solar system at all. So what's so scary about a rogue planet then? Is it the fact that it's invisible? No. Is it the fact that it's large? No. How about the fact that it's an invisible, large planet that is flying through space and it could collide with any of our planets at any given moment? And that is what's terrifying. Can you imagine one day you wake up, you grab your coffee, you know, you go to your local McDonald's, your Tim Hortons, whatever, you know, you're just doing your thing, you eat your breakfast, you get ready for work or school, and then you see a giant planet the size of Jupiter headed straight on a collision course with Earth. Or even any of the other planets, which could totally, actually, would definitely mess up our solar system and probably affect us as well. So yeah, pretty terrifying. What's even more weird to think about is that a lot of these giant rogue planets are gas planets too, so this would be a pretty big mess if we were to be hit with one of them. And speaking of things moving in space, allow me to move on to the number one thing that is pretty creepy in this video. That's right, folks. That practically invisible giant black void that sucks in every known piece of matter inside of it moves in space. And that is something that is truly terrifying. Imagine a black hole suddenly popping close to our solar system and slowly sucking in everything inside of it while it passes through the area. Imagine it sucking our sun inside of it, leaving us even more screwed than we already were. These are the questions I ponder about at night, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, you should be concerned for my mental health, but I digress. Black holes are so powerful and so destructive that being light years close to one is still dangerous for us. But luckily, we aren't very close to any known black holes as far as we know. So breathe. We're okay. Calm down. None of these things are probably gonna happen. We're more than likely fine, guys. I didn't mean to freak you out. But just breathe, we're okay for now. Don't worry. As long as you subscribe and leave a like, we're okay. Don't worry, I'm sure if you do that, we'll live. But, you know, like I said, I digress. We're fine. For the time being, anyways. Either way, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and learned some new things about the universe. Hey, the universe can be big and scary, but it's also beautiful and full of wondrous mysteries. At the end of the day, the way we look at things are reflected onto us. And when it comes to pondering at the night sky, it is our choice to look at it and either be afraid of it or be astounded by it in all of its wonder and awe.